Welcome to Unit 5, Part 2. The document you have open is your class practice dash 2. Right, the first thing we're going to do is learn how to put in a footer. So go up to our Insert tab, select it, then we go to the right side, and we're going to look for our, and we're going to click on Header and Footer. It opens onto that on the right side. We type in our name, hit enter, and we're going to go up here to elements. We're going to click on current date and current time. Then we've got our header in. We're going to go up here to our navigation. We're going to go to the section. We're going to type exercise. Oh, actually, let's type class activity 1 dash. I'm going to go to header and I go back and I'm going to click out. Now go back down to the bottom. That my screen has changed. I click on the normal icon here on my status bar. I'll go back to my normal look. So the first was a little review. We are going to select A1 through A1 and we're going to merge and center. And we will change, we've got that merges, we're going to change the font. So we're going to go to that little corner, select the entire document. We want to make sure you use New Roman or Arial. And we want font. There you go. We want our title to be a little bit larger, so I'm going to a couple times. And then I'm going to go over to cell styles. I'm going to click that down. And I want to find the title cell style. And I'm going to click on it. And now I'll apply that title. How do I know it's applied? I go back to cell style. I'm going to see that it did. Right. Then we're going to select A5 through H5 and let a cell style called heading. And if I'm on our boundary line between B and C and double click, it's not going to work. See, so that all of the displayed. So I don't have words split out. There we go. I can also shorten up the vertical. I go into my boundary line between 5 and 6 and turn that up so it's a little. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to figure in H1 our 3 months of January, February, and March. As a review, we need to our auto sum. Now we don't include the purchase price, so I'm just going to select E7 through G7, check my cell reference, I'm good. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to copy that formula down because all of these are relative cells, all related. They were not spaces, they're all connected. If I click on my little arrow, it's telling me that there has been an additional number adjacent to it. It's telling me that the purchase price is not being included. Okay, we're okay with that. Click on this, and actually I'm going to go here and click on this. I can say ignore error and go all the way down and do that if I wanted to, so I don't have to deal with that error. So I don't think it'll let do it all. Oh, there it is. Ignore error. Take care of that problem. We are now going to select 7 through H19. and we're going to go up. You notice this number here, we're going to click on that. We have our choice in currency. I'm going to click see. You notice that the dollar sign is right number, or I click on accounting, and you notice that space between the last number, the first dollar sign. So you can use either one. No difference that accounting puts the dollar sign up against the wall, whereas currency against the first dollar value. This case is cents. So you can use whichever one. Down to the bottom, and this is a relative reference, so I can grab that fill handle and copy that across to get my total. So largely our review. Now the new thing that to learn is we're going to cursor and C7, and we want to, each one of these stocks had a number of stocks for 100. So the percentage stocks invested, if you want to know what percentage 80 is of 100, what percentage 50 stocks are 100. So we're going to go here and we're going to have to write our formula. We're going to type equal, and then we're going to click on 80 or B7. And since we are trying to find the percentage, we are going to divide. And then I'm going to click on B3. Now, if you notice, when we did our totals here, they were all relative. We weren't skipping over at all. Notice here, we have some cell separation. We have a blank cell here, a cell here. So we're jump cells. Whenever we jump over cells, we need to add a dollar sign in front of B3 because that's the one we want to stay constant, and a dollar sign here. If you're on regular computer keys, you can just hit the function key F4, and that will automatically put in your dollar sign. I'm going to hit enter, and notice it says 0.8. So we're going to come up here to our number section, count percentage, and notice now we have 80%. And I'm going to drop this down, and we're going to see that we have figured out the percentage of each one. Now, what would happen? Do Control Z here. What would have happened? I would have done equal, then clicked on B7 divided by B3, then enter, without putting in those dollar signs. If I click on C7 and I try to use my fill handle and copy down, you're going to notice that you get a lot of errors because if I click on the first one, it's dividing B7 by B3, which is what we want. If we go down to the next one, C8, and look in our formula bar, it's dividing B8, which is right, by B4, which is wrong. That is why, and if I do the same thing for C9, you're going to notice the same thing. That is why we come up here and we put in our dollar signs. This is what an absolute cell reference. We're using one absolute number to divide all of those numbers. And when that happens, and we jump over cells to put in that dollar sign, and then if I copy it down, I will no longer have that error. And I'm going to go back to percentage. Right, the next thing we want to do is we're going to add some conditional formatting. So I'm going to do this for January, February, and March. So we want to do some comparisons. We're going to select E7 through G18. Then we're going to go up to article formatting, and we will compare each month's dollar values. I go to my data bar. I can use either granite, I can use solid. It's up to you what you're going to put in color. And notice it kind of works like a mini. It's showing us the percentage of for each one of these cells. That is conditional formatting. Now we can also do a comparison of months by using lines. So if I go to insert and come over and find my spark lines, we're going to use column. So I'm going to select data range. I'm going to click up arrow, which will allow me to select my 3, E7 through G7. Hit enter, and then OK. Notice now I have a compare between the 3 months. I can tell that the last March has the largest investment, and then February, and then January. Now I can here and change the color if I go to my line. Let's say I want it to be, let's do blue. I can also say on a marker color, I want the height or the highest value to be orange. Then if I come down and take my fill handle and drag it down, it's going to do a comparison marking highest points in each cell. Next thing I can do is I could add a chart for this if I wanted to know the percentage stock invested, because charts are used for percents. But in this case, I really want to show the comparison January, February, and March. I want to add my legends. So here's my legends. Select my legends. I'm going to hold my control key, and then I'm going to select January, February, March. I'm going to select all that data. Then I'm going to insert, and then instead of a pie chart, because I'm showing 3-month comparison, and I can choose a 2D or a 3D column, 2D bar or 3D bar, whichever one you want. So it's now the comparison. Here is January for my Campbell Supervisor, January, February, March. I'm going to pull that over. Notice I have my data here. And if I want, I can delete this series because I really want this. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to mark title right, because every chart should have a title. So we're going to type in 3 months. Just like a chart, come up here and I can add, say something in style 6. So in this video, we have learned how to put an header and a footer. We have learned how to put in accounting or currency. We have added styles to our names and a title. We have also added calculate percentage, absolute cell references, jump over cells by adding the dollar sign, and then you'll handle to copy down. We have learned how to put in our additional formatting, and we have learned our sparklings. There we go. And the last, but they could have put in a pie chart if we wanted to for our percentage. That's not what we wanted to say. Rather, what we wanted to say was with our 3-month comparison and a style. We've also taught how to, in our sparklings, to add a sparkling color, mark it with the high point. We could also mark it with the low first point or last point. So hopefully you can do your document as we're going through and starting. Once you have finished the formatting the document, save your teacher over so they can look at it. Thanks for watching, and your next part will be an activity that you will do on your own.